Today we're talking about Lisa Eldridge's 2 new gorgeous eye products. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Makeup Maria from Miami. Today we're talking Lisa Eldridge. She has 2 new products. She has a liquid silk eyeshadow. I bought Ione and Irene. Ione is currently sold out and Irene is not. I also purchased her brand new Fawn eyeshadow palette. So we're gonna do try-ons, swatches, comparisons, and we'll have a first impression for you. But first, the product description. Lisa, as per usual, launched a video to talk about her new products. In the video, she said that the new matte liquid eyeshadows can be used as a one-and-done eyeshadow base, that you only need a tiny amount as it has a self-setting complex, that you're to apply it to clean, dry lids, which is such a challenge for me. Apparently, moisturizers and eye creams can compromise the setting, smoothing, staying power of the formula. She said the liquid eyeshadows have been an integral part of her kit, but that they can leave eyelids crepey and dry. So she wanted to make sure that her formula had something in it that benefited the eyelid, and that's where the Lapacho bark extract comes in. This is an ingredient that she discovered and that she feels is very good to the eyelid. We'll see. She also mentioned how she postponed her concealer release to early next year. Coincidentally, Victoria Beckham Beauty, who shares a similar aesthetic as Lisa Eldridge Beauty, launched her concealer with Augustine Bader, which is a luxe skincare brand, in case you don't know. What surprised me is that she said that this formula looks equally good on oily lids or mature lids. Wow, that's quite a claim. Let's find out. As per usual, again, Lisa mentioned in her video, she named the eyeshadows after Grecian goddesses. So Irene is the goddess of peace. Ione is not technically a Grecian goddess. She's one of the 50 water nymphs. It's sold out, but they are restocking it. If you go to support@lisaeldridge.com, you can be on a waiting list. Phoebe, which is Lisa Eldridge's favorite, it's camel. It's a camel colored. It's the goddess of bright intellect. Gaia, which is the goddess of earth, which is golden brown. And Dahlia, which is the goddess of comedy and poetry, which is a deep rosewood. In her video, she also talked about her eyeshadow palette, Fawn. She says it's a great sculpting palette with little hints of glamour. It has uptown New York vibes, which is very cool. She also includes a work memory. She talked about walking in uptown New York and gazing at the brownstones. And it has a duochrome, a wet looking shine, white ties that I'm intrigued about. Let's play. First, the eyeshadow, the liquid eyeshadow in Ione. This one is very popular. As I mentioned, it's sold out. It has a really nice kind of like purpley tone. I tried this once already. I'll just do a swatch on my hand for now. It actually doesn't look as purpley on my eyes as it does on my hand. You'll see when I put it on. What I'm gonna do is put one on one eye, the Ione on one eye and Irene on the other eye, and then I'm gonna do two different eyeshadow looks with Fawn, so I can test it out. This is Irene, which is a peachy beige. And again, the color, I tried it already once, and again, the color looks different than I expected on my eyelids. I'm not really sure why, but there's Irene. They're beautiful colors, for sure. So then, here's the Fawn eyeshadow palette. Very similar to the other, I mean, exactly the same as for other palettes. This is Sorcery, same size, same shape, same everything. I broke my Vega palette, which is my favorite palette, absolutely adore it. I mean, Sorcery is great, don't get me wrong, but just for every day, I really like the Vega. And it broke, so I was excited to purchase another palette. So here it is. meant to be either everyday or built up for more of a glam look. Okay, so with my fingers, I'm gonna swatch these colors for you. White Tie, Supernaturally, and Burnt Clove. Here they are. And I'm gonna put them underneath. The White Tie is the one that I'm intrigued about. The next three are Upper West Side, Debutante, and Dorian. Okay, so let's try them on the eyes. So I have nothing on my eyelids, which is a huge challenge for me, but here it goes. So one little drop, that's it. And with my finger, I'm gonna tap it in. And what I like to do with eyeshadow is kind of go up in the middle of my eye, and usually that covers everything. And it did. That was pretty easy, I have to say. It went on, I tried it before with moisturizer on my eyes, and it didn't work for sure. So let's try Irene on the other eye. One dot. It's hard just to put one dot. Okay, so I use this finger. And then I go up. I go straight up for me, because if I go straight up, it looks like it's everywhere because of my eye shape. Okay, so there it is. So I have Ione on this eye and Irene on this eye. So now let's try adding eyeshadow to it. So I think for my first look, I'm gonna start with Upper West Side, which is the color that Lisa used in her tutorial. This is the brush that I'm using. Okay, I'm gonna put it in here and then place it on my eyelid. This is the Ione side. So I'm putting the lighter colors on the Ione side and the darker colors on the peach side, because peach is a little lighter than Ione. Okay, let's do this. Just gonna put it on top just to set this. And as I mentioned, for me, I just go up, straight up. Not all the way to my eyebrow, but that's pretty much the way I apply eyeshadow. Okay, that looks nice. There's a little creasiness, like right here. And then let's try adding a little something to deepen it. This brush. So I'm gonna go in with Burnt Clove, which is another like favorite. It's this one right here. I'm tapping even though I don't have to. Okay, and I'm just gonna put a little bit right at the corner. And a little bit up. I should have used a smaller brush, but okay. All right, that's nice. It does work well with the base. And then let's put on the White Tie. These are my favorite colors. This on top. A shimmer. Oh wow, it's super shimmery, guys. Look at that. Okay, so that's definitely a more nighttime look, at least for me. I'm gonna grab another brush and just blend it out a little bit. So this is when my audio went out again. It's a voiceover. I bought a new cable. It's not the cable, it's the camera. So I've got to figure out if anybody out there knows why a camera decides to shut off in the middle of a video, please let me know. Anyway, I cut out a lot of this video. I just want to give you an idea of what the other colors look like on my eye. This is when I use Debutante, Dorian, and Supernaturally. Okay, so let's talk about some comparisons. I want to first of all compare Ioni to this Merit Solo Shadow in the color Studio, which is one of my favorites. It is very similar, a little bit creamier. Well, it is a cream, so of course it's going to be creamier. And here's the color. So I'm going to compare that to Ioni because I think they have a similar hue. So we'll put, that's the Merit, put it on my arm. And then we'll put Ioni next to it. I'll blend it out a little bit so it's a more of a fair comparison as far as the color. So as you can see, the Merit looks warmer on my arm and the Ioni definitely looks more mauvey. It's very interesting because the Merit on my eyes, when I put it on my eyes, it always looks mauvey, a pale mauvey to me, and that's why I like it. Here it definitely looks more warm next to Ioni, but the consistency is very different. The Merit is creamy and actually at the end of the day can feel a little dry on my eyelids, but to be fair, everything feels a little dry on my eyelids. So there's that. And I wanted to show you the Luxe next to the same packaging, and this together is probably really gorgeous. I should have done that, but I didn't. I also wanted to compare this to the Giorgio Armani eye tint. This is a shimmer color, but they're standard products. They've been around forever and they're gorgeous. I wore the matte ones years ago. I haven't lately, but they didn't dry my eyelids out. Of course, you know, now they probably would, just because again my eyelids are very dry. But this is a really beautiful color, and we'll compare it to Lisa's. This has more product than Lisa's, and I'll put the prices down of everything so you can compare. And I'll put it right next to it. Okay. It's very, very similar. So Lisa's is on top. On the bottom is the Giorgio Armani. Lisa's is a little pinker, I think, and interesting. Well, I put them on at different times, but I feel like Lisa's set really fast. But I mean, I think they're both great, to be honest. I think they look beautiful. So whatever your preference is. But no, I think that if you have the Armani already, you really don't need Lisa's, unless, you know, you want to try it out and compare it for yourself. What else? Oh, I wanted to compare the new eyeshadow palette with a relatively new Surratt palette that I purchased. It's this one right here. It's called Beyond Beige. So let me put one next to the other so you can see. Just first impressions, I found Lisa's eyeshadows a little easier to work with. So there's Lisa's, there's the Surratt. Don't drop it. Okay, oh my gosh. It doesn't open all the way, so it's a little harder to show you. Okay, there you go. I just like the white color in Lisa's palette. I think it's necessary when you have this type of color. I like the light tan color, which is grayish in the Surratt. I mean, Surratt's eyeshadows are great, don't get me wrong, but they're pretty neck and neck as far as this one's more expensive, at least regularly priced. I got it discounted. So that's that. Okay, let's go over my first impressions. So basically, I think that the liquid eyeshadows are good one and done. I don't believe, for me, for mature and dry and sensitive eyelids that I have, that you want to wear these underneath, you know, as an eyeshadow base. I don't think it worked for me. You really can't tell, I think, on the camera, but close up when I was looking at my eyes, it's just crepey towards the end, towards the edge of my eyelid, close to my lashes. It gets crepey, and then when I try to put eyeliner on it, it's not as smooth. Even after I put eyeliner, I put Lisa's eyeliner on there, and then I put eyeshadow on top to just fuzz, you know, blend it out a little bit, and it still was crepey. Not very crepey, just crepey towards the edges. So that's, I think I would do one or the other. I wouldn't do both. I would do the one and done liquid eyeshadows without any other eyeshadow on, or I would use the eyeshadow with her eyeshadow palette with an eye primer. That's what would work with me, and moisturize around my eye, because I have mature skin, I have dry skin, I have sensitive eyelids, and for me, I need to moisturize. I need to have an eye cream on that, let it sink in, and then put eyeshadow base on, and then my eyeshadow. So for me, that's how I'm gonna be able to work these products. I do like Phoebe. That's the color that is Lisa's favorite. I'm thinking about getting it. I don't really need it, but I do like that color, I think, more so than Irene on me, just because, I don't know, for some reason, I think the peachy color just doesn't work as well on my fair olive skin. So that's just a color preference. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. Do all the things that help the algorithm monster. And oh, I have a Lisa Eldridge playlist that I'll link below if you want to see all my Lisa Eldridge videos. I'm a huge fan. I think she does a really good job. I just think that many times when people create these products, they create it, you know, they try to do it for everyone, and I just think the products aren't meant to work for everyone. I really don't. So it's just difficult, I think, when you try to do something that's going to work for oily lids and mature dry lids. It's tough. But hey, she's doing it. She's doing the work. Good for her. Don't forget to wear sunscreen. Abortion is healthcare. Peace.